It was day 3 of the Santos Tour Down Under, starting in Unley and heading for Stirling, which is not too far as the crow flies, the way the riders go though, Paul. 133 kilometres. And would it be a day for the sprinters like Graham Brown? This man has won the first 2 stages so far, Andre Greipel.
Well, a lot of the sprinters very nervous at the start because they know that what they were looking up to towards the end was a very difficult, hilly and tortuous course around Stirling, where they would climb up the main street on 3 occasions.
The Mayor of Unley sends them on the way. 131 riders. Just one non-starter this morning was Peter Weenan. As the riders now rode out towards the start proper on the Southern Expressway, Cadell Evans in his rainbow jersey as world champion, Greipel in his ochre jersey as leader of this race.
Well, the riders having a long neutralised section, but almost immediately the race started. George Hincapie touched wheels with another competitor and fell down, but he was quickly attended to by the race doctor. Nothing too serious.
It's a long, steady uphill climb once the riders were released after 10 kilometres of neutralised formation, and straight away the pressure went on. Riders trying to break this field up from the word go. 9 riders getting clear here.
And of those 9 riders, number 151, Jack Bobridge, he was looking for the move, certainly on a day like this, but only 20 seconds advantage over the front end of the main field. The field containing all of the top sprinters in this race, Phil, I don't think were quite keen to let anybody have a party.
Yes, they were very tenacious the whole day of racing. The field didn't allow the escapers too much of a lead, not like the previous day when one rider had 11 minutes. When they came into the McLaren Flat area, 31 kilometres into the race, the Jayco sprint taken out by Gorka Inaguare from Peter MacDonald and Matthew Wilson. Then came the only serious climb of the day for the Skoda King of the Mountains point at 38 kilometres, the climb of Wickham's Hill. 2 riders on the same German team Milram attacking, Thomas Rodriguez and the Australian Luke Roberts at the back here.
Well, Luke Roberts, I think, very happy now to be on a top international team once again after lots of problems with injury and illness, and he allowed his teammate to get himself maximum points at the top of the climb, and in that case his teammate moved into the lead in the King of the Mountains competition.
But as has happened all the way along the road, once over the top of the climb, the field clawed them back into the action again, and all together. The black jerseys of Case Dupont doing a lot of work at the front. We're heading now towards Achunga. And once we got there, 74 kilometres covered. 2 riders just ahead of the field. In the red was Karsten Kroon of BMC, and with him Simon Clark of the University of South Australia team.
But probably more importantly, not too far behind them, in fact only a few seconds, Jack Bobridge again trying to get himself into a breakaway move. The front end of the main field put under pressure here though, Phil, because of HTC Columbia. They wanted to keep their man in the overall lead for another day, and there he is in the ochre jersey, and that of course is the big man Andre Greipel.
But the attacks continue to come here. Jens Voigt, who hasn't raced since the Tour de France last year when he crashed very, very badly on his face, was finding his enthusiasm for the sport once again, and the man in black here for Saxo Bank was leading a breakaway with Maciej Peterski to make a front group of 5 as they reached the finishing line, but there was still 40 kilometres to go.
They were still never allowed very much freedom either, because their advantage hovered around the 1 minute mark, because the main field was always led by Case d'Epargne, the Spanish team with an Australian team manager, Neil Stevens. It was as if they knew what was going to happen on a day like this. This was certainly the kind of finish that would suit the great Spanish champion.
Kroon, Clark, joined first by Bobridge and then by Voigt and Peterski, were now trying to race for home. But under the pressure of the attempts to get the victory, the field was breaking up.
Well, on the final attempt of the circuit, it was in fact Matty Lloyd who made the integration into the front group with 3 riders. Australians being very dominant on this circuit, but it was a tough run to call to try and stay clear off the front end of the main field, because still the Spanish armada on the front end of the main field kept ticking away at the advantage as if they were getting ready to set up for a big bunch sprint.
They try as they would, and a huge crowd in Stirling, which stretched for the best part of 3 kilometres, was still cheering the riders on with just 20 kilometres left to race. But the field were never really out of their slipstream, and it was the Spanish team Case Dupont hoping now to deliver their champion Alejandro Valverde to the line first, and they were trying to work hard enough now to shut everything down.
On the run in towards the finish, even Lance Armstrong was trying to set up a move for his team, Team Radio Shack, and the South African member on that squad, Daryl Impey, managed to jump clear inside of the 500 metres, but they were still trying to keep it all together for a bunch sprint.
And the man they never watched was the champion of Portugal, Manuel Cardoso, who jumped a long way out with such power nobody could organise themselves in the chase. He would win the race by a clear second. In the white jersey, the world champion Cadel Evans was pushing for second. He was pipped on the line by Alejandro Valverde.
A lot of work done by Kees Stepanje, but you made a very good attack in the final kilometers.
Sí, Kees Stepanje ha controllato todo giros.
Yes, Kees Stepanje did a lot of work to control the two circuits. I waited for the sprint and felt that I had good legs, so I gave it everything.
It's a very good stage victory for you.
Sí, ha tenido muchas victorias en mi
I've won a
carrera,
lot of races, but this is my first Pro Tour win
en
on a
calendario
Pro Tour team, so
con
for
un
me
equipo Pro Tour.
and the team it's
Para
very
mí, muy
important.
Yeah, it's just because of my teammates. We controlled the whole day the race, and yeah, at the end I just tried to stay on the wheels of the others to just stay in the same time like the bunch. So I had cramps everywhere on my body, so I think it was not really healthy to ride your bike or to race your bike today.
Yes, Kruijper conserved all of his overnight 14 seconds lead, but now it's over 3 riders, Henderson, Stegmans and Valverde.